Hello everyone, welcome back to Kalam Academy, and we are looking at another series of NewsKase. Myself Rajesh Vats, a faculty at the Kalam Academy. So in this class we will be looking at the caste census. Recently it has been in the news in major newspapers because of the caste survey which has been conducted by the Bihar government. Right. So we will be looking what can be the possible prelims question as well as the mains questions which can be asked from this. Means what content you should be knowing for this. If you see the relevance of this topic, then in GS paper 1 there is one topic, that is the salient feature of Indian society, diversity of India. Right. So in this topic you can connect with the caste. Right. And in another topic like the population, in that topic also caste can be connected. Plus on the basis of caste census, welfare schemes can be launched. So you can also connect with the GS paper 2 of welfare schemes for the vulnerable sections of the governance part. Right. Then it has relevance of both current and as well as the static, that is diversity of India, caste system, caste survey. All these things are very much relevant for the Indian system because caste is very much prevalent in our society and it is continuing. If you see the questions, previous year questions, then in 2020 a 10-marker question has been asked, and that is, has caste lost its relevance in understanding the multicultural Indian society? Elaborate your answer with illustrations. So similar questions can be based on the caste census, whether there should be caste census or not in India. What are the government's take on this? What are the government take on this? Right. So such questions can be asked. So we will be looking at several things like what is census, what is caste-based census, and what is caste survey, and what are the differences between them, and what can be the possible things which will be coming out from the prelims as well as the mains point of view. Right. So this was in the news. Recently Bihar has conducted a survey on the basis of caste. Right. So the impact of the Bihar caste survey, these things, this was in the Hindu. Then the Bihar puts number to its caste, EBC at the 36%, put OBC count 63%. So this was in the news recently. Right. So by now you have understood that Bihar has conducted a caste-based survey. Right. So what has been the outcome of this Bihar caste survey? Right. So if you look at the outcome, you will find that in the census 2011, Bihar had a population of 10 crore, and currently in the recent survey it has been found that now Bihar's population is 13 crore. And very surprisingly, this caste-based census has come out with the fact that now the highest population in Bihar is of extremely backward classes. Right. And the second highest is of the other backward classes. Means the ratio is like this. Extremely backward classes is of 36%. Right. Other backward classes of the 27%. So if you just combine these two classes only, it will constitute 63%. That is huge. Right. Then if you consider the scheduled caste, it is 19.65%. Then ST it is 1.68%, and the unreserved category is only 15.52% in the Bihar, as per the recent Bihar caste survey has said. Then Hindu population is near about 82% and Muslim population is near about 18%. So this has been the outcome of Bihar caste survey. Right. Now there has also been the criticism of this survey, because the criticism is that very hasty manner has been followed, because this caste survey was put on hold by the Patna High Court at one point of time, and by the time nearly like very few percentage of the people who has been the data of very few percent of the people has been calculated. Right. has been collected, but later on when the so Patna High Court stopped, means it removed the hold from the Bihar caste survey, तो बहुत जल्दी लाइक 3-4 दिन के अंदर ही सर्वे कंप्लीट कर लिया गया और फिर इसका डाटा रिलीज कर दिया गया, राइट. सो it has criticized that this data is not accurate, so that is the criticism. Now we can see that देखो caste Bihar caste survey conduct करा रहा है, right. So there is question whether there should be census on the basis of caste or not. Why Bihar is conducting survey? Why not census they are conducting? Because it could have been said that Bihar caste census. So why it is not happening, right? तो इन सब क्वेश्चंस का आंसर हमको मिलेगा यहाँ पे. तो census, all of you know that census it was started in 1872, and officially the census got started in 1881, and till then every decade we are conducting census, right. तो 1881 से स्टार्ट हुआ, वो 1881, 1891 ऐसे जो है अभी तक वो कंडक्ट होता हुआ आ रहा है. टू 2021 का सेंसस में थोड़ा सा डिले हुआ बिकॉज ऑफ द कोरोना पेंडेमिक, नहीं तो सारा सेंसस ऑन टाइम ही रिलीज हुआ है, राइट. सो इफ यू सी द सेंसस, देन सेंसस इज conducted under the Census Act 1948. Means there is statutory backing to the census, right. There is statutory backing to the census. It is being conducted under a law, that is Census Act 1948, and therefore there is one confidentiality factors also, that whatever the data which is being collected in the census, that will be confidential in nature, right. So that confidentiality factor is there. What about the caste census? Whether in the census the government is conducting, means collecting data about the caste or not. So you must understand that from 1951, after the independence, from 1951 to 2011, government has only collected data for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes population, not other caste, means other backward class or the general category caste, they have not collected, right. So that is there. So only scheduled caste and scheduled tribes populations census data has been collected, and you already know that how much useful this census is. Census is used for making any government policy, any government programs, right, like or any kind of, if you have to utilize your resources, if you have to establish, if you have to gain the this demography, human resource development, right. So you have to conduct census, और फिर उसका efficiently use करके you can have better human resource developed population in your country. So इसी के census के basis पे ही delimitation commission होता है, how this constituency will be divided for the Lok Sabha, for the Raj Sabha, right, for the legislative assemblies. So all these things is being done through the census. अब ये question आपसे पूछा जा सकता है. The first question which can come in the prelims, that is whether census has any statutory backing or not. So it is the Census Act 1948, it is the statutory backing, plus it can be asked that whether central government, question prelims में आ सकता है that central government is not collecting any kind of the caste based survey. So that will be wrong, because a scheduled caste, scheduled tribes population का दो census में collect कर ही रहे हैं. Then what is caste census? Caste census is one important types of different types of census, which is collecting the socio-economic caste data. Means whatever the data is of the population regarding the socio-economic condition, that is it is conducted. And you should understand that this has started before independence also, right. Like in 1931 itself, first socio-economic caste census was conducted, but उसके बाद थोड़ा stop हो गया था ये चीजें. And in the post-independence period, the only year in which the socio-economic caste census was conducted, that too was in 2011. And one prelims fact is that there is no statutory backing to the कास्ट सेंसस. सेंसस का स्टेचुअरी बैकिंग है, कास्ट सेंसस का लाइक सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कास्ट सेंसस का इसका कोई स्टेचुअरी बैकिंग नहीं है, ये किसी लॉ के अंदर नहीं करवाया जा रहा है. राइट. देन व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस, व्हाई दिस कास्ट सर्वे इज कंडक्टेड. राइट. व्हाई कास्ट सर्वे, व्हाई नॉट सेंसस. बिहार ने कंडक्ट करवाया कास्ट सर्वे. तो एक्चुअली देयर इज ये जो कास्ट सर्वे होता है, सेंसस होता है, दैट इज द पार्ट ऑफ यूनियन लिस्ट. राइट. सो देयरफॉर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैज नो राइट टू कंडक्ट ए सर्वे. ओके. So therefore Bihar has recently conducted the survey and it has also released this data, and currently Odisha government is conducting a survey and later on it will be released, and there is also not any statutory backing for the caste survey also. ठीक है, इतना समझ में आया. So that is there. Then on for the mains point of view, it can be asked, now when Bihar has conducted a survey, so now discussion is going on whether India level पे हर एक 10 साल पर कास्ट सेंसस होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए. If caste census is being conducted, then what are the advantages of such caste census? If caste census is not conducted, then what are the disadvantages of that caste census? Right? Means if you are not conducting caste census, in what disadvantaged position you will be there. तो ये सब सारे positions जो हैं आपको समझना है, बिकॉज मेंस में ये सारे क्वेश्चंस आ सकता है. ये क्वेश्चन ऐसा बन सकता है, सोसाइटी पोर्शन में आ सकता है, या फिर सोशल जस्टिस पोर्शन में ये क्वेश्चन पक्का से आ सकता है. राइट. नाउ व्हाट आर द एडवांटेज ऑफ द कास्ट सेंसस, व्हाई कास्ट सेंसस शुड बी डन. फर्स्ट थिंग इज द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया अंडर द आर्टिकल 340, it mandates that the President of India can appoint a committee or a commission to investigate the condition of the socially and educationally backward classes. And you must know that using this article 340 itself, the President of India has conducted the survey, has set up a commission, Mandal Commission, BP Mandal Commission, right, in 1970. It has put its report in 1980. जिस कमीशन, मंडल कमीशन के रिकमेंडेशन पे हमारे पास ये है ओबीसी रिजर्वेशंस हैं. राइट. सो दैट इज देयर, एंड यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड दैट जो मंडल कमीशन ने भी जो रिकमेंडेशन दिया था, दैट वाज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ 1931 कास्ट सर्वे, और द सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कास्ट सेंसस जो हुआ था 1931 का, उसके बेसिस पे सारा रिकमेंडेशन दिया था. तो यू कैन इमेजिन दैट वो कितना पुराना है चीजें. राइट. क्योंकि रिसेंटली अब पॉपुलेशन काफी चेंज हो गया. 1931 से डेमोग्राफी काफी चेंज हो चुका है इन 2023. राइट. तो अब काफी चीजें जो है वो एज पर द डिमांड ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन, एज पर द प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन चीजें होनी चाहिए. राइट, इजंट इट? सो इफ यू कंडक्ट कास्ट सेंसस, then only you will have proper data, and if you have proper data, then only such commissions which will be set up, such commission can recommend correctly to the president that what should be done, upliftment of the economically backward caste in the society. Right. So that is there. Then to address the social inequality, we are living in the world of 2023, but still there is caste-based discrimination going on in our society. Right. If you look at the manual scavenging, you will find that 98-99% of the manual scavengers are from the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes population. Right. So discrimination. Right. So social inequality is there. Then we have, what are other benefits, like if any programs, any policies is being designed, right, then you can have some targeted approach, and by that targeted approach you can आइडेंटिफाई हु शुड बी द बेनिफिशियरी, बिकॉज कास्ट सेंसस होगा तो आप किसी पर्टिकुलर कास्ट को आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो, उनको देख सकते हो कि क्योंकि प्रॉपर पैरामीटर्स होते हैं, बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स के ऊपर डाटा कलेक्ट किया जाता है. सो यू वुड बी अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट विच कास्ट डू नॉट हैव हाउसिंग फैसिलिटी, विच कास्ट डू नॉट हैव दिस वाटर फैसिलिटी. So you can target that programs and policy. ठीक है, you can customize this, so that can be done. Then the rationalization of reservation should be there. So just now we have talked about that from the 1931 caste socio-economic caste census only this BP Mandal Commission has taken the report, and on the basis of that only he had recommended 27% reservation for the other backward class, right? तो अभी तो काफी सिचुएशन चेंज हो गई है इंडिया के अंदर. नाउ यू नीड रेशनलाइजेशन ऑफ द रिजर्वेशन. कुछ कास्ट को हो सकता है कि ओबीसी को ज्यादा रिजर्वेशन मिले, राइट, शेड्यूल कास्ट शेड्यूल पॉपुलेशन को कम मिल सकता है, राइट. तो वो रेशनलाइजेशन होने की जरूरत है बेस्ड ऑन द रिसेंट सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कास्ट सेंसस which has been conducted in 2011, or if any other caste census which is being conducted in future. So based on that reservation can be rationalized. Then it provides the comprehensive picture of the Indian society, because इतना सारा diversity है, right? You will be completely knowing the salient picture of our society, right? So if in that diversity you will be clearly able to understand that which caste population is how much, right? All are the benefits. Then to monitor the effectiveness of the affirmative actions, because government is affirmative actions like Article 15 is there, Article 16 is there. All these articles are allowing the government to take affirmative actions for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other socially and educationally backward classes, right? So if you are doing the caste census properly, so you will be able to monitor whether the affirmative actions which you have taken, that is going in the right direction or not, that is really uplifting the poor population or not, right? So that can be written. Then it will be helpful in fulfilling the objective of the various committee and commission, like the Sachar committee. Sachar committee was for the Muslim community, and it has recommended several things for the Muslim community, right? Similarly, Rohini commission. So these commission's recommendations will be properly implemented if you have proper caste census, if you know exactly which caste need how much focus, right? So that is there. So these are the advantages of caste census which you can write in the mains. Okay, so mains के लिए सारे points हो जाएंगे. Then another point is, what are the disadvantages of the caste census? क्यों कास्ट सेंसस नहीं होना चाहिए? अभी तो हमने देखा कि व्हाट आर द एडवांटेज ऑफ द कास्ट सेंसस, मींस क्यों कास्ट सेंसस होना चाहिए. नाउ लेट्स अस सी व्हाई देयर शुड नॉट बी कास्ट सेंसस, व्हाट आर द डिसएडवांटेज ऑफ द कास्ट सेंसस. सो if you conduct the caste based caste census, then obviously, and that report will be public, so obviously everyone will be knowing which person is of what caste, which caste is dominating, which caste has lower population. So all these things will be there, right? Therefore caste based discrimination may increase in our society. That is the demerit. Then caste based political mobilization can be there. Already political party is doing caste based mobilization. It is often said that we do not cast our vote, rather we vote our caste. So these things can get more strengthened if caste census is conducted regularly and the data is coming in the public domain, right? So that is there. Caste based political mobilization can happen. Then it will solidify or harden the caste identity. देखो बार बार अगर कास्ट सिस्टम्स की डाटा कलेक्ट करोगे तो फिर जो कास्ट में जो डाइल्यूशन आते जा रहा है, कास्ट जो इंटरकास्ट मैरिजेज हो रहे हैं, ठीक है, अर्बनाइजेशन के मॉडर्नाइजेशन के कारण, इस सब में जो कास्ट में जो कुछ डाइल्यूशन आ रहा है, सो दैट डाइल्यूशन विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल. और ज़्यादा रिजिड हो जाएगा, और ज़्यादा सॉलिडिफाई हो जाएगा, पता नहीं और कितने हजारों साल तक कास्ट सिस्टम हमारे देश के अंदर चलता रहे, राइट. सो दैट विल बी देयर. Then there can be more demand for the reservation. Don't you think that if 63% of the population of the Bihar is now EBC and OBC, they will be coming on the roads to demand for the more reservation, right? So if caste census is being conducted, there will be more demand for reservation, there can be more violence, there can be more clashes among the different sections of the population, right? Then it is very cumbersome process of the data collection. There are so many castes, ठीक है, so many castes are there. और उन सारे कास्ट को एक तो कैटेगराइज करो कि विच कास्ट इज इन द ईबीसी, विच कास्ट इन द ओबीसी, विच कास्ट इन द एससी, विच कास्ट इन द एसटी, विच कास्ट इन द जनरल, बिकॉज सारे कम्युनिटी में कास्ट हैं, राइट. सो देयर आर सो मेनी, दिस इज वेरी कम्बरसम प्रोसेस. और इस डाटा को प्रॉपरली कंडक्ट करवाना, each and every individual whom you have given responsibility to conduct the caste census means that is very complex thing, right? Then it may lead to the further social division, because caste based division और भी ज्यादा हो सकता है, right? So by looking at the advantage and disadvantage, what do you think? What would be the way forward will you give? Right. So one way forward should be like conduct the caste based census, right, socioeconomic caste census regularly, but on the basis of that the government should formulate the policy, government should target some sections, right, for their upliftment, for their better welfare, right, but it should not be in the public domain. फिर क्योंकि पब्लिक डोमेन में आने से क्या हो जाता है कि प्रॉब्लम और ज्यादा इनहांस हो सकती है. अभी बहुत ज्यादा ह्यू एंड क्राई हो रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ द बिहार कास्ट सर्वे. Some people is criticizing, some people is accepting, some people demanding for more reservation. So that is happening, right? Then what is the government stand? What is the government stand of conducting caste-based census right now? So government has said in the 2021 in the Lok Sabha that it has decided the government has decided that currently, except for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes population, there will not be any conduction of the caste based census, right? So that is the current situation. And when we are talking about the caste, then B.R. Ambedkar comes first. Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, he had said that you cannot build anything on the foundation of the caste. फाउंडेशन, कास्ट के फाउंडेशन पे कुछ भी नहीं बनाया जा सकता. यू कैनॉट बिल्ड अप ए नेशन, यू कैनॉट मेक ए नेशन, राइट? यू कैनॉट बिल्ड ए मोरालिटी, राइट? एनीथिंग दैट यू विल बी बिल्ड ऑन द फाउंडेशन ऑफ द कास्ट विल क्रैक एंड विल नेवर बी ए होल. मीन्स जो भी आप फाउंडेशन कास्ट के फाउंडेशन पे बनाओगे वो टूट जाएगा, वो जोड़ के नहीं रख पाएगा, बिकॉज कास्ट सिस्टम इज वेरी डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी एंड B.R. Ambedkar हैज ऑलवेज सेड टू फॉर द एनिहिलेशन ऑफ द कास्ट. और अगर बार बार कास्ट सेंसस करते हो, बार बार कास्ट सेंसस सर्वे करते हो, तो ये कास्ट सिस्टम, ये रिजर्वेशन सिस्टम कभी भी इंडिया से नहीं खत्म हो सकता, राइट? सो दैट इज देयर. सो व्हाट हैव यू लर्नड? You have learnt about the differences between the census, caste census and caste survey, and most important thing, you have learned that the caste census is a statutory thing and it is conducted through the Caste Act of 1948 and the caste census and caste survey, right? These are not statutory in nature, there is no statutory backing, there is no any law which is saying this. Then census is there in the 7th schedule in the list 1 item, right? Means it is in the union list and therefore the state government cannot conduct a census and hence the state government conducts survey, right? So they are not entitled or they are not eligible to conduct a census, that you should understand. Then there is Article 340, which you have understood that using the Article 340, the President can appoint a commission which will inquire upon the socio-economic scenario of the weaker section, right? And the first caste census was caste-based survey in the post-independence. The socio-economic caste census was conducted in 2011, right? So this is all in today's class. We will continue this NewsKase series. See you soon. Thank you very much.